Welcome to the Foil Life Podcast, where we talk about foiling and the lifestyles of those who enjoy these great sports.
All right, Brian. Hey, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, no worries.
Actually, for everybody tuning in, it's our first episode of the Foil Life Podcast. So thanks, Brian. Thanks for kicking it off for us.
Yeah, happy to be the first guest.
We were doing a bit of back digging into you and really cool history, actually, of everything that you've done, everything you've accomplished, Red Bull, all of that kind of thing. Where did all that start, or how did it all start?
I guess it originally started I moved to Florida when I was 11 with my family and got into water sports and riding behind the boat and doing all that stuff. And I was doing a sport called wakeskating for a long time and kind of got into the sport real early, like when it was first kind of coming out. So we kind of like pioneered the sport and helped kind of, push it into what it is now. And we had, a bunch of contests and, shooting videos and getting shots on the mag and all that stuff. So yeah, my background's in water sports and towed water sports pretty much. And then, back in like 2017, I started finding the foils and getting into that. And that's kind of what I've been focused on the last 5 or 6 years now. Is just kind of the same thing, like a kind of a new sport that's just incredibly fun. And everything's just like changing and, growing so quickly with new equipment and, more riders getting into the sport and stuff too. So it's kind of like, kind of doing it all over again with foiling now.
Oh, that's sick. We were able to find some of your videos and whatnot. Like, is there any of the trips that you've done over the years that stands out the most? I know that Dubai base jump was absolutely insane.
Yeah, we worked on that one for a long time. That was kind of like my dream project to try to put that together. We were really happy to do that last year. We had to, just kind of a crazy idea for a long time. But then, we had to build the drone and then find a location to do it. We originally wanted to do it off a waterfall. Couldn't really find like a good waterfall that was high enough and had enough water like right to the edge. And then we found that building in Dubai and it like set up perfect for it. So once we found that, it was on from there. And with all Red Bull's connections around the world, we got all the permissions we needed. And I'd been base jumping for a couple of years and then trained all last year before it with Miles Dasher. He's like a Red Bull base jumper. So him and I spent the summer together just traveling to Europe and getting a ton of base jumps and ride behind the drone. And then, we put it all together like last December and did it.
Breaking it down into sections, is that kind of like what specifically about that training did you have to focus on more? Was it the fact that you were getting towed off, which could get thrown you into a spin? Like so many things I assumed you guys thought of, right? Yeah,
there was a lot of variables that you couldn't really put all together until you actually went over the edge, like, and did the stunt. So the drone is flown by a pilot, so he had to fly the right speed, and I'm like running onto my board, so the drone needs like more power in the start, and then you kind of have to like level off the power. So we practiced that a lot, and we were working with 2 pilots too, so we had a backup. We had like a backup for everything. We had 2 drones, 2 base rigs, 2 boards, so if anything failed, like we had like a backup. But so we were just training together with those guys, making sure that they could both fly the line, and we did a lot of that training with the drone, and then we base jumped a lot. We got to jump the building like 10 times before we did the project, and the day before we did I rode through the pool without the kicker and just like let go of the rope. So we like practiced, going through it, and then and then the day of the project, we only had, the way the weather was, it was like kind of crosswinds and like not really good winds for it. And we had like a 3-hour window. We ended up doing it like in the last 5 minutes of the window. So it was pretty nuts, like just standing at the top of the building all morning, like waiting for these winds to change. And then they finally did. And so when it was time to go, when we made the call, it was over like 4 or 5 minutes later. We were like on the beach and celebrating. So it happened quick, like once everything aligned. But we only got like one try at it. I wouldn't have changed anything. Everything like went perfect, but there was a lot of risk involved. Like we had the board tethered to the drone, so if I would have got tangled up in that tether, it would have been really bad. And we could release the rope from the drone, and we had some like kind of safety precautions in place, but that was like the biggest obstacle, is making sure I didn't get like tangled up in the drone at all. So, but I knew if I got good speed from the drone pilot, then I was going to be able to do the wake skating part and get a good exit and like get good separation from everything, and then once you're in the air flying, that's the fun part. So it was great.
Yeah, I can imagine. On my like 18th or 19th birthday or something, my mom and I went skydiving once, but we were like, it was a pilot chute, right? So I can't imagine the base jump feeling that
It's an amazing feeling. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we spent Miles and I went to Switzerland like 3 times for a week, so 3 weeks in Europe, just in the Lauterbrunnen Valley in Switzerland, just jumping all these different exit points, and really just falling in love with that sport too. I mean, I had like maybe 35 jumps before that, but all off like bridges and lower stuff. And when you start doing the big like slider up jumps, it's an incredible sport. It's an amazing feeling. Yeah, pretty addicting too. Yeah, it's great.
How did you tie that stuff with your whole career with Red Bull to foiling? Was that just something that came up that you thought, oh, wow, like this could be the next thing? Or
I mean, I've been skydiving for a long time. So I really love doing air sports and got into base jumping like in 2019 or 2020. And so that was like always kind of like, how can I combine like these two sports together and do something? So like, that's when like the wake base idea came together. But yeah, it took a long time. I think like 7 years or something to kind of plan it. And then, we didn't have a location for a long time too. So that was like, big problem. But then when we saw that they built it's like the highest invisible edge pool in the world, it's almost 1,000 feet high. So, and it actually makes it a lot safer. Like, if you're base jumping around like a waterfall, if you get turned back into like into the waterfall, it can like collapse your canopy and stuff too. So having it be a pool where it's all just like clean air, and so it made it a lot safer for the jump too. And it was cool for the video too, because I think it did really well. I got crazy views and everything, but I think it's because a lot of people didn't realize we were on top of a building, and then all of a sudden I just kind of go off the ramp and just like fall away, So like, the way it like kind of got shot and the way we all put it together, it was super crazy. It was fun.
Hey, congratulations. That's a lot of work. And I think a lot of us sitting behind the scenes that pop on and find this and watch it and celebrate for that little minute don't necessarily realize like the lifetime and the years of dedication to get something like this done.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's like a 30-second clip or something. And it takes years to do that. And you see that with a lot of Red Bull projects,
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, this crazy thing that's never been done before. But there's so much planning and getting permission and permits and all that stuff, and Red Bull's just really good at making that stuff happen.
How did you connect, let's say, that with the sport of foiling? Like, how did foiling kind of enter into your life?
Yeah, well, doing a lot of wake skating and stuff, and just being in water sports, like, like in the last, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years, like wake surfing got really popular. Like the wakeboard boats that we use, they have surf systems on them now. Like I ride for a boat company called Malibu Boats, and they have a system called Surfgate. You can basically just push a button and you can make a left or a right wave behind the boat. So wake surfing was getting really popular and stuff too. But then when the foils came out and we started riding those, it basically makes like an endless wave that you can foil on too. So it was like real easy to learn on that. And then, you can learn how to pump and you can learn how to do the turns, and you can kind of like learn all the like basic stuff, like how to control the foil. And then, you can take that out into the ocean and start riding waves. And so it's like, it's gotten a lot of people into the sport, like that or have like a wakeboard background or that have these wakeboard boats or these surf boats, just because it's, it has just like a perfect wave that you can foil on.
Nice. So it's kind of like a natural progression of what you were doing.
Yeah. It's just like another water sport that's like, right in the backyard, So, and I fell in love with it. Like first time I did it, it was just a crazy feeling. And then once you start learning how to pump and connect all the waves and do all that stuff, it's just, it's awesome.
Obviously, they're like flips and all this different stuff that you can do on the wave behind there if you're strapped in. And I assume that would be pretty sweet behind there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got a lot of guys like, like Noah and those guys that are just incredible wakeboarders, and then they get a foil under them and they're doing all these, crazy flips and, 360 flips and back flips. I mean, he did one with no strap backflip, so. Yeah, the tricks that you're seeing are like pretty wild, but I think it's because he like has this background of being behind the boat like his whole life, and then like being such a good wakeboarder, so he's got great air awareness and everything, and then he's just an incredible athlete. So you put a foil under him, and he's doing some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
How did the idea of the foil surf race league come to be?
Yeah, the foil racing started. I spent a lot of time down in Puerto Rico with Nick from Lift Foils. I've been working with those guys since 2018. And yeah, there's this wave like right under his old house called Surfers Beach. And we would basically go out in the mornings and we'd take off on a wave, and then you just ride waves and pump like all the way down, like around this point. And then there was like one little exit zone where it wasn't coral that you could just get off on the beach, and then you run back up to the top. And we were just doing laps, and like he just does it for exercise, like in the mornings. And I was like, man, this is so fun. And I was like, man, this would be like a cool format because I couldn't keep up with him. He's like so dialed in. So I was like, man, this would be like a great like format for an event. And, you know, with my background in towed water sports, all of our events are judged, you know, they're all like subjective scoring, and you have like 2 passes like down and back, and you do as many tricks as you can, but you're judged by 3 people, you know, against all the other guys in your heat. And so sometimes, you know, you get burned by judges, or, you know, it's subjective. So you just never know like what the outcome's going to be. So with foiling, I was like, man, this would be cool to like do a race where there's a clear winner every single time, and we don't have to like judge it or anything. And it's, you know, it's super high endurance. There's like a ton of strategy involved. And we kind of tried to set up the FSRL with like not a lot of rules, but just rules that people could interpret their own way and kind of like, kind of play like to their strengths on how they were going to like finish their 2 laps the fastest. So I partnered with my buddy Billy Bosch that owns the Foil Outlet over in Cocoa Beach. He's run some events like with Beach and Boards Fest, this event in Cocoa, for a long time, like doing kiteboarding stuff. And then I kind of came to him with this idea for this format. And so we partnered up and we did our first race in 2020.
All right. So what is the whole premise of it, just for people who have never heard of it?
Yeah. So it's a race format where we basically have like an area. It's about 100 yards long, or maybe just inside of 100 yards, but we call that like the action box, right? So we have like 2 boundaries. So we have like a buoy and then like some flags on the beach. So you start outside of like the action box. So everyone starts on the beach, everyone runs into the water, and then you basically like have to stay outside the action box until you catch a wave and you get up on foil. So once you take off and you're inside the action box, you can only move inside the action box if you're up on foil. So whether that's riding a wave or just pumping, but then you get down to the other end, like the downwind boundary line, and we have like a flagger on the beach. So as soon as you pass that line, you look up to the beach, you get your green flag, and then you can start heading back. And so on the way back, you can get it back as far as you can. Depends on the conditions. Like if you have a really strong headwind, it's sometimes hard to get back. If it's like calmer, it's pretty easy to like do 2 laps. So that's like part of the strategy too. But if you do come off foil, like on the way back upstream, you can hit the beach and you can run back and then get back in the water for your second lap, or you can catch another wave and like work your way back, depending. So it depends on how far out you are, if there's a way that you can catch right away. But if you're just stuck there and you can't move, like you can actually on your way back up, you can get out of the water and go around. And then a race is 2 laps. So if you go down and back, you have to stop, you know, get off your board and then catch a second wave for your second lap. So you can't just pump like down, back. So it's not like a pump race. You do have to like get 2 takeoffs. And then the race finishes on the beach, like where you started from. So on your second lap, on the way back, like, yeah, you kind of work your way to the inside. And we've had some races where, you know, a guy will hit the beach early and just be sprinting, you know, trying to beat some guy that's like still in the water and stuff too. So if you're a fast runner and, you know, you can pick up some time on the beach sometimes, but yeah, you do finish. So yeah, there's a lot of like room and a lot of time to like, you know, everyone kind of like looks at the race differently. You want to try to like get on one of the first waves, but since you do have to stop in between laps, like even if you don't get on like one of the first or second waves, sometimes you know, on the second lap, guys can't take off quickly. So then everyone starts like getting bunched up again. But yeah, we do big heats too. Like, you know, last year we were doing like some of the first rounds were like 25 guys in the water all at once. So it gets pretty like chaotic and there's like a lot of action going on and yeah, so it's pretty fun and pretty exciting to watch and really fun to do too. Yeah.
I can imagine. You've had some big names come out, right? Like you've had a lot of, since 2020, like I was just looking up some early videos that you were having back then. And yeah, it's awesome to see.
Yeah, last year was great. We had Alex Hayes came from Australia and Jack Ho came from Hawaii. We had a couple guys come from Hawaii and Europe, and there's a bunch of guys from Puerto Rico that come every year and stuff. So and like James Jenkins been coming since the beginning, and Eric Geiselman was there last year and stuff too. So and Austin Kalama, and yeah, so we got a lot of like really great athletes that are super competitive, and yeah, it makes the events really fun.
Absolutely world class. And then you have to what? Like board choices, foil choices, absolutely everything goes into something like this, right?
Yeah, we don't have any restrictions on boards or like wing size or anything like that, because I mean, yeah, you could get a big, wide, high aspect, huge, pump wing, but then it's going to be hard to like take off and make the turn to like get out. So, I think most guys are just on like, mid-size, high aspect wings just so they have some pumping power and they can still like maneuver and stuff pretty quickly. But yeah, we have like a couple different categories. We do like pro prone, and then we do like an open class. And then we do like SUP, like, and, with a lot of people riding downwind boards. Now we had a huge like growth in that category last year. We had like over 20 guys competing in that last year too. So, and we've had a women's division. We didn't have any women last year, but 2 years ago we had a few. So we really hope that, we get some girls to sign up this year because, we want to get everyone involved.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of ages are you getting?
I think the youngest was maybe 12 or 13 that competed in it last year, but it's a lot of guys, from all ages, really. I mean, in the open category, there's guys in their 40s and 50s, and some of the sub guys are a little bit older and stuff too. But yeah, it's just a full range of everybody that's kind of into foiling. It's not just like young kids doing foiling. It's a lot of like guys my age and even older than me. So it's cool to get everyone involved.
You're 44 now?
I'm 44, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just turning 42 in a month.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'll have to come down.
40s are good. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. So, but yeah, we also do, so we do the races on the first day, and then we started doing like an expression session, like trick contest, like 4 years ago or so. So now we basically are running like 2 events in one. So first day, well, depending on conditions, but normally we try to race on Saturday, and then Sunday we do like an expression session. So we tow, Sea-Doo's been a sponsor of ours for a while. And so we do like Sea-Doo assist, so you can like get whipped into waves, and you can also like paddle into waves if you want, but we do like 35-minute heats. And, on strapless last year, we did like best wave. So like combination of turns or airs or any of those like maneuvers. And then for strapped, we did best trick. So we saw like a lot of flips and spins and stuff like that too. So we're trying to like, kind of offer, categories for everyone to kind of push foiling. And, the racing's like really fun, but like when people are riding on a daily basis, they're out there just, trying to do stylish turns and airs and stuff like that too. So we wanted to like give guys a place to, start pushing that side of the sport too.
And that's based out of Cocoa Beach?
Yeah, we've been running the events in Cocoa Beach. That's where Billy's shop is. So it's like real easy to just kind of run everything through there. And we get pretty consistent conditions in March and in Cocoa Beach for foiling. So yeah, it's been a great place to do it. But obviously, we want to start growing it too and trying to do more of them. And this year we're actually partnering with Foiling Week in Pensacola. They reached out to us about running a race up at their event. So they have like a week-long event going on up there in Pensacola, and we're doing the races on Saturday and Sunday up there, like kind of at the end of the week. So pretty excited to get it in a new location. And, Pensacola is not known for like great waves all the time, but I think there'll be a little something up there. So we should be able to get some races in.
Yeah, we're in final talks with Luca there to get out there and do a bit of coverage for it. So
yes, it's going to be a cool event, I think. Yeah.
I think my Frank, who's behind the scenes, going to come down as well. So we'll have to get together and just meet you guys. Yeah. And I think that'd be sweet. That'd
be great. Yeah, we're going to be up there for probably 4 days or something, probably 2 days before the event, just checking it all out. But yeah, I mean, they're going to have, there's a ton of categories between the sailing and wing foiling and downwinding. They're doing a pump race. And then, we're doing our surf race and stuff too. So it should be really cool. And I think there'll be a lot of foil athletes from all over the world there to kind of meet and hang out with.
Did you ever think that you would be like launching a league like this? Did you ever think that foiling would kind of take off as quickly as it did, even though people were doing it like a long, long time ago?
Yeah, I mean, even in like the wake side of stuff that I do, I've been working with like the WWA, which is like our governing body, like in wakeboarding and wake skating. So I've been like a wakeboard judge for a long time. So I kind of like worked doing these events. And so I have like, a little bit of experience and background, like, helping run these events and the judging and all that stuff. So, back in 2018, 2019, 2020, like there was no foiling events anywhere. And I was like, man, well, like, there's so many athletes that are getting really good at this. And, to be like a pro athlete in a sport, you got to kind of compete and see who's the best, and, try to go to some events that have some like prize money that you can actually like make money like doing this stuff. So that's kind of like another motivation why I wanted to like start the FSRL, just so that we could provide a place for guys to come and show their skills and, make some prize money. And, that's good for them with their sponsors. They can kind of be like, hey, I won the FSRL event this year. And then they make some prize money with us. And if we can get a full tour going, or if we can get other people to be running events like this with like, good prize money and stuff, it's just going to help the sport out, overall and in the future.
Because I think you had some decent amounts for prize money too, right?
Yeah. Last year we gave out $10,000, and then we had a bunch of gear and stuff from a lot of our sponsors. Like we gave out full foil setups and I think 3 or 4 boards and stuff like that. So we only give the money to like the pro classes, but we do like, the guys in the open classes are winning, foil gear that's worth, $1,500 or $2,000 or something like that too. Yeah. So, and we give everyone like an athlete, bag, like when they check in and stuff too. It usually has like a surf leash and clothes and hats, and so you get about $100 worth of like gear just with your entry fees and stuff too. So yeah, we try to like make it as easy for everybody as possible, and just really just try to have a good time and get everybody out there and see what's possible in the foils.
So if anybody is looking to just kind of do their first competition, is this something that would be good for them?
Yeah, especially, if they know how to prone foil. I mean, you can tow in like in the expression session, so you wouldn't have to like paddle into waves unless you wanted to. But yeah, with the racing, like anyone that's been prone foiling, like we have the open class for people that don't want to compete against the pros, but it's still a very competitive race, and we have just about as many guys like in that category as we do in the pros. So yeah, I mean, we kind of try to set it up so everyone can be involved, not just at a pro level. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we're doing every year. We try to just like learn from the year before and then try to change it to, make it more accessible and make it better for everyone that comes to it. But yeah, every year we've seen, athlete participation grow. And last year we had, I think, 82 riders, come from all over the world. So yeah, it's growing a lot, and it's like, really, really fun. Yeah. So it's pretty sick.
Are you going to cap the size of people coming in like the GWA does, or other organizations do? Or
yeah, this year we will have to cap the expression session. Mm-hmm. So we'll take 40 guys in strapless and then 40 guys in strapped. But the racing, we do like those big heats, like I was saying. So we can do like, we don't really need to limit those ones as much. But yeah, we only have so much time like on Sunday to like run, all the heats throughout the day and stuff. And we also added this year like a foil assist category in the expression session.
Oh, sick.
So guys that are riding foil drives, or if they're, riding an e-foil or whatever they want to do, we're going to have like that category too, just to kind of try it out. Cause yeah, I feel like that's like a, a growing sector in foiling, and there's guys like doing some pretty cool stuff with that. So we'll do like strapless foil assist in the expression session too.
When is it this year?
This year, the Pensacola race is March 1st and 2nd. And then our race in Cocoa Beach is the following weekend, March 7th through 9th. So Friday the 7th, we're doing like a demo day with all our sponsors out on the beach. We're going to like set up all of our tents and everything. And so people in the event or not in the event can come out and like ride, all of our sponsors' gear. They're going to bring out like demo equipment so people can go try stuff. And then we do a shop party and like a registration party that night. And then we Saturday we try to do the races, and then Sundays we do the express.
What kind of conditions would be ideal for you? Like, what are you open for?
I mean, ideally it's 2 to 3 foot, or maybe a little bigger, but light winds is the best. We've had some years that we have like a real stiff like north wind, so the downwind run is super easy, and then trying to work back into that headwinds, like it's pretty challenging. I mean, but it does. I mean, that's what's kind of cool with the format too. With the racing, at least, like, you kind of have to like, play to your strengths with the conditions, and, but we've had some really, like 2 years ago, we had some really nice surf, like, 3 to 4 foot, no wind. And it was just beautiful. And it was great for the expression session. And then, for the racing and stuff too. Last year we had pretty good conditions. We had low tide on Sunday. Well, it was like kind of middle of the day, and then we had this crazy like onshore wind kick up like for the final. So we had like great conditions all morning for the expression session, and then during the finals, the waves just kind of got blown out. And it wasn't like super good, but yeah, you just never know. But there's always waves that time of year, so we can always like get in the water and start foiling. Yeah, so it's cool.
Not bad. All right, looking forward to that. So that's things coming up not too far away. We're 20th of January, so we'll look forward to seeing you guys in Pensacola. I've never been to that part. I think I've been to Florida when I was 4 years old. That's the last time since I've been to Florida.
Probably changed a little bit since then.
Probably. Is there anything else you want to mention about the FSRL to people who are brand new to it that they might, can we follow it obviously online? Do you have any feeds or anything, videos that we can catch before or after or during?
Yeah, we put most of our media just on our Instagram page, which is Foil Surf Racing League. So everything's on there. You can link to the website to sign up for the event through the link in the bio. It's all set up through Billy's shop, the foil outlet. So, and yeah, you can sign up for the Pensacola race and for the Cocoa Beach race on the website. But yeah, just want to thank all of our sponsors. Lip's been a sponsor of the event for a long time, and now that we're doing like basically 2 events in one, we have like 2 title sponsors. So this year, Lip is sponsoring the race day, and then Armstrong is sponsoring the Expression session. So, but yeah, Foil Drive's been sponsoring us for a couple of years now, and yeah, we just have a lot of great sponsors. We got F1 and Codes coming on this year, and so yeah, it's just great to get all the companies together too, and that's why we kind of wanted to add the demo day this year too, because we just have all the best foil brands out there, all coming to this event. So I think it's great for people that want to just try different equipment out, and if they can just get their hands on it on the beach right there and take it out for a quick spin, they can kind of try stuff. And so we wanted to offer that to people too, and just we just want to have fun and stoke people out and get people in the water foiling. So we're just trying to manage that as best we can and get people out there.
Yeah, I think there's so much good equipment now, and it's becoming more and more accessible. It's awesome that you're offering demos so that people can come in and try stuff, because all we're trying to do is obviously spread the stoke for these sports and say, hey, maybe a little water, wind, whatever is going to help you and bring you maybe somewhere different in life, right? So that's amazing. I see you, you drinking a little Red Bull there too as well?
Oh, yeah. I got some over here. Oh, yeah.
Nice. How, going back to yourself, how has that whole journey with Red Bull been, and you've gotten to see so many amazing and cool places around the world to kind of do something that you love? How's that journey been for you?
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, when I got in Red Bull back in 2001, I mean, it wasn't what it is now. They'd only been in the US for 3 years or something, and it was still the whole Red Bull athletes can only wear hats and all that stuff was just so new. It didn't we just did it, but it didn't really have the meaning that it does now. But I mean, yeah, I've been able to travel all over the world, doing all these sports that I love, and come up with, crazy ideas to try to put, wake skating in places that it's never been before. And also foiling, that's how we kind of did the underground cave foiling last year. We found this underground river, and they kind of pitched it to me do you think you can wake skate down here? And we have done some wake skating in caves before too, but it was so narrow and not really big enough to wake skate down there. So I kind of suggested, hey, we could bring an e-foil down here. It's all electric, no fumes or anything with the winch or any of that stuff. And they're like, yeah, let's try it. I mean, we never done a Red Bull project with the foils yet. So, and it was super fun to do. I mean, we shot it at night, when the park was closed. I mean, it doesn't really matter because you're underground. So, we're bringing all our own light in. But the water's 60 degrees or something. I'm in the water for 5 hours. But it was just a blast. I got to work with all my friends shooting it and lighting the cave and everything too. So we shot for 2 days down there. And yeah, it was crazy. We shot drone clips underground, running down this super narrow hallway. And it was just crazy. But yeah, Red Bull's down to just try cool stuff like that. And but yeah, with the wake skating projects that I've done, yeah, I mean, I did one my first big Red Bull project was we rode on these rice terraces over in the Philippines. It's this natural drop. Basically, we put a rail in and pulled it with a winch and stuff. So and yeah, we've done snow wake skating, and we rode through cranberries and just all kinds of crazy places that you'd never expect to see like water sports being done.
Yeah.
And then, we just, shoot these videos, and Red Bull, produces everything for us, and we just get to have all the fun. It's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. Is there anything coming up in 25/26 or further beyond that you're allowed to mention, or?
Not really that I'm allowed to mention, but yeah, we're always, got some ideas trying to get approved, and that's kind of how it works with Red Bull. Like, you kind of come up with an idea and then you pitch it to them, and then, while they're going through budgets and stuff, they're kind of like try to pick the best ones, like with all their athletes in different like areas of the country and different locations and stuff. So,
sick.
so yeah, we're always like pitching them ideas and trying to come up with like, the next big project and stuff. And if it's, a good enough projects that they think that we can, make happen, then it gets funded, and then we get to, start the fun part of it.
I guess. All right, community, come out to the race in Pensacola, and then in March, and then pitch some ideas. Why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how it works.
Nice, Brian. Well, hey, I don't want to take too much of your day, but I really do appreciate you taking the time to come on and chat with us. Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to meeting you in Pensacola, because I think we're gonna be there. And anyways, looking forward to meet you guys, getting to know you a bit more.
Yeah, me too. That's gonna be great. I can't wait to see everybody up there, and hopefully you can make Cocoa Beach too. That's a fun one.
Yeah, that could be something. I could look into it.
You're going to be in Florida anyways.
I know.
I mean, that's kind of why we did it too, because, we're going to run these events like back-to-back weekends. So people that are traveling from, from far away, they can, just kind of be in Florida for the whole week. I mean, we got great foiling up at New Smyrna Beach, and, all the beaches there. There's a little scene of foilers like kind of at every beach in Florida these days too. So, it gives people the opportunity just to hang out in Florida for the week before the Cocoa Beach event. And do some foiling with everyone around here, and kind of get the whole like Florida foil scene, kind of, check it out. So
you guys got some good food. You got lots of no gators where we're going.
No, just sharks here. Just
sharks. Yeah. All right.
It's a little sharky here, but just small ones.
That's fine. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. I saw my first pack of dolphins here in La Ventana, Mexico, and stuff. There's no sharks here, are there? I said, no, it was just dolphins. But
yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks again for joining.
Cool.
Thanks everybody for tuning into our first episode of Foil Life, and looking forward to the other ones. All right, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. All right, I'll see you guys.
Absolutely.
All right, later.